another myth when it comes to protection of children or minors. Now, the question was asked by, I believe it was the African Christian Party or something like that. They tried twice to contest our abortion laws and constitution, and both of them failed. And their major question was, what about consent of the minor? So if a minor falls pregnant, and they referred to, in these situations, in Section 5 of the Choice Act, it clearly sets out that the pregnancy may only take place with the informed consent of the pregnant woman. I think that's a typo. That the abortion may only take place with the informed consent of the pregnant woman. Going on to further say that no consent other than that of the pregnant woman will be necessary to have an abortion. So it's saying that if the abortion takes place without the consent of the pregnant woman, that is unlawful. So suddenly, with the consent of the pregnant woman who says, yes, I would like to murder my baby, then that's okay. What happens when it's a minor? With pregnant minors, the Act states that a medical practitioner or a registered midwife should advise the minor to consult with her parents, guardian, family members, or friends before the pregnancy is terminated, but with the explicit provision that the abortion will not be denied if the minor chooses not to consult with them. So consult with your parents or don't consult with your parents. Doesn't matter to me. You should consult with your parents, but there's nothing that will stop you from not consulting your parents. So you can go ahead and murder your child. It's up to you. That doesn't protect our children. That enables our children to be murderers. Not good. And let me float this situation past you. 12-year-old girl, statistically, would be raped by someone who is close to her, who she trusts, who she knows. That could be her brother, all right? Her father, her uncle, a close family friend, could be grandpa. Whoever is a male in her life who perhaps rapes her would be able to rape her because of the close proximity to her. That's just statistically. It is more likely for that to happen than for her to be raped by a complete stranger. It's not impossible, but it is more than likely for her to be raped by someone that she knows, that she has a close relationship with, that she would be in close proximity with, that she would be left alone with, in terms of if it wasn't her dad that raped her, her parents at the very least would entrust her with whoever this man would be. Let me put this to you. 12-year-old girl gets raped by her uncle. Her uncle says, don't tell anyone about the fact that I raped you. Maybe he threatens her. Maybe he convinces her that if she says something, then bad things will happen to her and bad things will happen to him. She, of course, is manipulated by his words. He's a lot older than her. He's a lot more shrewd, right? So she's convinced that she's going to keep her mouth shut about being raped. 4 weeks down the line, she starts throwing up. And she doesn't know who to speak to. She doesn't know why she's throwing up. But she can tell that maybe there's something wrong. And maybe it's because I was raped. There's some change going on in my body. So she phones her uncle and says, I'm throwing up. And I'm late on my period. What do you think that means? Because maybe she has some basic understanding of sexual reproduction, and she has some basic understanding of sex and stuff, but maybe her parents haven't explained, all that well to her as young as she is, what she should and shouldn't be exposed to, and what changes in her body would look like. Because, of course, her parents would never imagine that their daughter would be pregnant at the age of 12. So, uncle says, you're late on your period. 12-year-old girl says, yeah, what do I do? So uncle goes to the pharmacy, and anyone can do this, I've done it, meaning buying a pregnancy test, all right? I've bought a pregnancy test, I haven't raped anyone, that's not what I mean. So he buys a pregnancy test, walks to the counter. He buys two. He buys two pregnancy tests. You got to be sure. He buys two pregnancy tests, goes to find his niece. They somehow get alone together. She pees on the stick once, it's positive. She pees on the stick twice, it's positive. Conclusive proof that she is pregnant. Now what? According to the Act, her uncle can take her to an abortion clinic to take an abortion pill or to go through the procedure with a doctor or a midwife to kill her unborn child. And according to the Act, the girl's parents don't have to be informed. And the uncle can be seen as perhaps just a guardian, someone wanting to help, or he doesn't even have to walk in. He can drop her off. He can drop her off at the clinic and drive away, because he doesn't want to be seen necessarily. She can walk in alone and say, I'm pregnant, I would like an abortion, please. Maybe it costs some money. He gives her the money, whatever it's required. She has the abortion, murders her child. The child that was conceived and raped. The child that is not devalued by being conceived and raped. The child that is innocent of the conception. Now the little girl, the 12-year-old girl, is guilty of a sin. Guilty of the sin of murder. Coerced by her uncle, who is just as guilty. Coerced by her uncle, who had raped her, who is guilty of that rape. She walks out of the clinic. Abortion is a success. She's bleeding a little. She's in pain, whatever it is. Uncle comes around the block, picks her up again, takes her back to the house, and says, no one has to know. She walks into the house, looks at her parents. They said, how was your time with Uncle Bob? She says, no, it was okay. They can tell that something's up, but they don't know what has just happened. Keep in mind, they don't know she's had an abortion. According to the Act, they don't have to know. And they don't know that she's been raped. They trust Uncle Bob. Why wouldn't they? He's family. But according to this law, according to this Act, they don't have any say in their daughter's well-being when it comes to their own grandchild. And according to this Act, as unlikely as you may make it seem, as unlikely as you might say to me, Carl, that would never happen, this Act says that that can happen. And that's okay. The 12-year-old girl is raped by her uncle. The 12-year-old girl gets an abortion, and her parents do not know anything about what has happened. How is that just? How does that offer protection to any child? It doesn't.